Alright, let's continue where we stopped. So, we need to speak with Isambard at Camp Drybone. Hi, I'm Isambard, here to search for the missing folk, I take it? Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Almajah. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. To see, Isambard of Camp Drybone is seeking help to solve the mystery of missing persons. Let's get right to it then. Minfilia names the Almajah culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by Almajah hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay in the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Adama Landama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserved a proper burial. I would see to the deed before the mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Almajah still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? Will you find them on the eastern road? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Almajah seek in this area. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to be that easy. Yeah, you sense a hostile presence. Alright, let's take a look here. System configuration, controller. No, I think it was in character settings actually. Let's see, manually adjust display main offhand gear on sheath, auto D, let's see. Let's go to show limited. Yeah, fall damage is not a serious thing. As serious as I thought it would be in this game. It's good to see you return. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? With the bodies given back to their proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalja? Did you see any? Surely such mischief monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. So they were Amalja remaining. After all, I feared as much. Their part in the low-born disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalja raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? Let's see, Eisenbart aims to turn his investigation to the common folk. What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it to be so. There is a merchant by the name of August who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Old Dar. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, missing people, please help. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass when nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before. What with all the disappearances? You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. Please, please, miss, just leave me be. I've nothing to say but this. Thal Teku or whatever's been feeding off us slow folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. Just as I told you, wasn't it? The whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly cost to the soul, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from August. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. We're now level 22. Isambard would like you to learn what you can from the clergy. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place than to ask than at the Church of Saint Adama Landama. It's a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. As long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request I grant you, but it must be borne to burial. I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquis. He tends the graves of the lich yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. Wait, we're back where we started? What a waste of time. I am Marcus. Yes, a body, of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. That's terrible though, like first he was in our pocket, and then we just tossed him right on the floor. And then that's how we buried him. That's awful if you ask me. May they all walk in Ty's realm. What, missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Ocean can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Ocean within the church walls. That's all we needed to know. I hear you have done us the service of bearing a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when you next see him. You seek knowledge of the missing Drybone inhabitants. It is true I'm closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them, and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Tal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marcus would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marcus, and soon. Yep, because this is such a huge game, for now we're going to stick to the main quest. There's a number of side quests all over the place, but we're going to stick to the main quest for now. For the foreseeable future. Because there's just so much stuff to get through. Thank you. A barrier is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Tancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I too spoke with Angus more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Aursen herself? Aursen? She wouldn't, she couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye to this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marcus, I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. None of these are benefiting us, so let's just take that. Alright, Isambard is concerned about the questions surrounding Sister Aursen's integrity. Sister Aursen, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be she. Could it? I grew aware of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray seek out the boy, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Aursen's activities. Apparently this is not the place where he is. Well, that ought to help. At least if we can move faster. Please help. Sister Arsene went off all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thanalan the Odor and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went to look for it. But what if the monsters outside heard her? Please find her. I'm trying to figure out the best way to use this one in battle, but I can't figure it out. You are the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with a child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Okay, so we have to report to Eisenbard at Camp Drybone. I'm yet to look into companies. At some point we probably will look into companies, but just not yet. Sister Arsene was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forbid, I will secure a room in the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans and risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Sancred would have us believe. Yeah, I'm not gonna take any of these because I have much better. Eisenbard seems to have a message for you from Thancred. I'm well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Arsene. It seems she received greater injuries from our attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, to the matter at hand, Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Al-Majah encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. To the southeast. Okay. Let's go. Ah, there you are. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Arson. Eisenbard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Arson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Almajar caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? An adventurer, and one with fire in her eyes, no less. The fire is just what we need. Spurred by rumors of a new Almajar commander, I arrived outside the beast drop encampment to find not only that the commander had arrived, but that the foul lizards were preparing to march on Uldar. A request for reinforcements has already been sent via link shell, but it will be several bells before they arrive, and by then it will be too late. No, we must stop the enemy before they advance, and since we are sorely outnumbered, I believe the only path to victory is to lower morale by targeting both their supplies and their leader. This is a fate. Search for a clue in the Almajar encampment. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? Let's see, we got that. This leaflet, See the Wealth of Naldo to the Hands of Your Children, it looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Neldthal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray, take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Arson makes of it. Yep. I thought she'd be in here, but she's not. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could somebody be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? The plot thickens. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. Posing as a priest. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. Let's see what we can get. Gladiator, Marauder, Paladin, Warrior, Dark Knight. Yeah, we can take that. +2, +5, +7. Alright, we're half an hour in, so let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Final Fantasy XIV.